Traders, welcome back to the channel. Great to have you. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. And today we're talking about AMC. Now, there's a lot of rumors going around about the manipulation, my opinion on it. Where do I see us going? Is this thing going to the moon? The short squeeze still happening? The gamma squeeze? There's so much going on here. Now, I'm going to discuss my overall opinion on everything going on here. If you've been in the lives, then you know my opinion. But I'm going to discuss it and give it to you very quickly and to the point. But before we get into that content, I need you to do two things. If possible, hit that sub button down below and make sure you leave a thumbs up, because a thumbs up really does help the channel and help the community grow quicker and quicker. And I always give you my 100% transparent opinion on the stock, whether good or bad. I do not care if you unfollow me. It's about getting the transparent truth from me, and that's just my opinion on the market. This is not financial advice, so do your own due diligence. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Now, before we get too deep into the video and start going over a few things, I'm going to keep it straight to the charts when I'm talking about AMC. I'm not going to pull up any news, anything like that, because I believe everything is essentially just manipulated when it comes to AMC. Now, I've been saying this over and over. Now, people are saying, Tyler, what's the dark pools? What's going on with the short squeeze, the short interest, the borrow rate, things like that. Now, the borrow rate is pretty interesting, and I think it's a pretty good indicator to show when we're about to get a next level push, but you can't focus on it too much as of right now. But the important things, in my opinion, are this. We can't be jumping to all these conclusions when it comes to dark pools, short interest, these, short laddering and stuff like that. Most of this stuff is, in fact, legal.
What?
So when people jump to the fact and say it's illegal activity, there's a gray area there. Whether some of it is legal, some of it is illegal. Now, can we judge what is and isn't? There's an SEC for that, and they're not going to really be focusing on the people on YouTube to find the people that are, breaking the law. That's not our job, and that's not what we're going to do. And I highly doubt we're going to influence if the SEC makes that statement or that choice to take legal action after some of these specific people. Believe me, they were already all on their radar. They're already having hearings and everything like that. There's nothing else we can do. So when it comes to manipulation, is it important to know some of the new news coming out? Yes. Is it important to focus on that news solely and post about it every day and that be the center of our world of trading? I believe this is a big distortion and confusing the community. We cannot focus just on the manipulation, because if that was the point, then we would never have a day of actual trading, because every single day the market is manipulated. That's 100% true. And I'm not trying to discourage or be a bear when it comes to AMC, because I'm not. I believe long term we're going to see a nice run up. I do believe that. But to say we have a short squeeze coming in the next few days, or that there's manipulation, they're going to get caught and they're at the cover very soon. Ultimately, we do not know that answer, and I believe no one on YouTube knows that answer. I encourage everyone to question everything they hear, especially from my channel. I want you to question what I say, back me up with facts and everything like that. That's what I want on the channel. I want to have educational conversations between you and me. When it comes to the live streams, I would love to help and educate in any way possible. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market, and everyone's entitled to give their opinion. It's important to know, as a YouTuber and someone that spends their day every single day focused on the stock market, I have a platform. In my opinion, since I was given this platform and I was lucky enough to grow on YouTube, I'm going to give my transparent 100% truth on what I see happening with AMC. We know it's manipulated, guys, but focusing only on manipulation is just going to continue to cause irrational decision making when it comes to investing, and that's just my opinion. So to go all in on AMC, I believe it's one of the riskiest, maybe illogical moves that there is. I believe there's room for growth, but don't put anything in it that you're not willing to lose, because ultimately you could lose it all. But that's it for the depressing stuff. Let's get to the charts. Let's see where I think we're going. It looks pretty good. The futures are looking pretty good as well. Hey, it could be a banger of a week. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first one we're looking at is actually look at the Nasdaq. Now you're thinking, Tyler, I'm here to look at AMC. Well, we're gonna get to it. Stay with me. I know I've already dragged you on for a little bit, giving you my rant on manipulation. But the Nasdaq looks pretty good. We had a really strong, close to the week, and I believe the continuation will begin. If you don't know about the canal going on in Suez, it's being cleared. This could be very bullish for the markets. Now let's take a look at AMC. We need the indexes. The indexes will help AMC and GME. So as we take a look at AMC, this is a higher time frame, so bear with me. It's looking pretty interesting. Now, the first thing I want to look at, we're always talking about OBV, and what do we see going on here? Because the OBV essentially shows us the range and the action that we're getting. And if we look at the higher time frames, it still looks very strong. We have these massive push up on the first move, consolidation, another move, consolidation, another move, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of consolidation. Now, let's do a little price range of how long these consolidations typically last, because I believe history tends to repeat itself, right? So let's do a little date range. So let's say the consolidation starts at this point all the way, 20 days overall there. We'll do this next one we'll do from peak. This one was about 14 days. It got shorter, and we'll do another one, and we'll start from this one over. This one actually is a little bit larger, so we'll do there. About 21 days, give or take. So we're seeing 28, 14, 18. There's no specific pattern. We have a little bit longer. And if you really want to, you could actually do this where that double top actually happened, that 12-day, 8-day range. That's pretty interesting as well. So I like what we're seeing. We are getting that consolidation. We've almost been about a week and a half in this range. That's not bad. That's really not bad, all things considered. I do like what's going on here, all things considered, and we haven't had the massive breakdown in the long-term viewpoint. Now, the long-term viewpoint is the most important factor when it comes to AMC. We can see these dips coming down. Those are okay because you're going to get retraces. And there's a few things I wanted to point out as well when it comes to these long-term viewpoints as well. So one thing that we should point out is as we had this move to the upside, so one can argue that this was a 5-wave structure, but I want to show you one quick thing from this local bottom all the way to the top. It's very interesting to me. If you study fib levels at all, I don't use them actively on every single trade because I believe you can get a little bit, leaning towards them too much. And every indicator tends to have a breakdown point, but it's very interesting on long-term viewpoints. I believe they have their place. This retraced perfectly to the 0.618 level. Now, if you follow fib levels at all, the 0.618 is typically called the golden retracement zone. And this is typically where you like to buy back in for your long-term trades, because how it typically works when you look at these is you're getting a 5-wave structure. So let's get this Elliott wave going on to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And this would work out in theory based on Elliott wave theory, because 3 always has to be one of the largest waves. It can never be the smallest wave. It can be the first or the second largest. It cannot be the third. It cannot be in the last one. And 5 was the smaller wave here if you do all these out. So that does make sense that this in theory could work. Now, I do not side with Elliott waves all the way. I've gone over why I don't focus solely on them, because you can get focused and locked in on them, and they do break down a lot of the time. So that's a topic for another day. But all things considered, we're getting a 0.618 level retrace, and that's very important. And it's also important to know this red dotted line represents the monthly open for March, and monthly opens tend to be some of the most respected resistances on stocks. If you historically look at monthly levels on these stocks, they are highly respected. So it's very interesting that we had all these breakdowns through the supports, and then we bounced right there at about the 890, 940 range, and then where we held to end the week. But let's break this down into a shorter time frame, right? So as we look at the shorter time frame, people will keep saying, Tyler, you can't use price action when it comes to AMC. Price action does not work. It doesn't matter. This stock is unpredictable. And I agree, it is unpredictable to a certain extent. But it's important to note we have not adjusted any of these ranges. We have not touched these order blocks right here, here, and here, all 3 of them. They've remained the same throughout. We bounced here. We came back up. We're rejected, came back down, rejected here, and we came back down. It's interesting to know that we're respecting the price action. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we broke through, rejected, and then continued coming down. So I'm not going to count that one. We won't count that one. But we've already had 3 touches of the zone. And this is price action, people. This isn't using EMAs, SMAs, MACD, RSI, none of that. This is just price action based on where buyers and sellers are actively making support and resistances on the market just based on the charts. That's all I love to use, because you can look at a chart and find where the price action is, and the chart typically does not lie. So that's what we're seeing, right? We're holding these key areas. And then you can see this range held once again right here. This was that $9.49 range that held very strong. So what do I see happening to start this week? Am I bearish? Am I bullish? Now, typically speaking, when you get this, correction or this retracement, right, if you follow the channel at all. I do not suspect to break through resistances on the first try. Typically, healthy movement revolves something like this. We get a push up, we get a breakdown, we consolidate, and then we get another push up, right? We want to get a retest of that range, we'll come down, and then we'll break through on the second attempt. That's healthy movement, right? So what I expect here is to get some consolidation, get back above this VWAP to get that bullish momentum, right? I know you guys hate the word bullish, but that's the way I'm going to have to describe it for you simpletons. I understand you might not like it, but that's what I want to see. Consolidation above the VWAP and then a push back to 11.4. And I believe if we get that push to 11.4, that will hold. Now you're like, Tyler, what's the bearish case scenario? We have to acknowledge that the market does not move the way we always want it to. We have to know that, yes, this is a little bit unpredictable. What we know is very predictable is the price action. So let's say, in theory, what would be the bad case scenario for AMC? We get rejected at the VWAP, so to come back down, we come down here and we push underneath. I wouldn't switch my thesis to being bearish on AMC or saying this is a dead cat, if you will, until we break below 8.8. If we hold below 8.8, if the stock gets below 8.8 and cannot break back above it, I would say AMC may in fact be a dead cat for a little bit of time, and it will continue back down to like the $6 range, in my opinion. Do I think that is a likelihood to happen? I do not. Because I believe the indexes look strong, AMC looks strong as well. We're just having a quick little correction. I want to see some consolidation on the sideways action and then a break above 11.4. If we get the break above 11.4, I think we're back in the works. I think 14.5 would occur very quickly, and we'd see a nice little pattern to the upside going into Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, or slowing down near Thursday. That's when I usually suspect AMC to slow down, and GME. Now GME, very, very bullish. I recommend getting to the live stream because I think GME could potentially touch 280 this week. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the video when it goes as far as TA. I know in the beginning of the video, I was a little bit serious and I wasn't attacking any YouTubers or anything when it comes to the manipulation on the market. I think it's important to report the news, but I think it's important to say that this isn't factual as in all of the manipulation. We don't know exactly what's true. We're just taking some educated guesses, if you will. We know that there's manipulation. We can't argue that there's manipulation. We know it for a fact that there's a massive amount of manipulation. There's a reason where all the data websites have absolutely random amounts of data. There's a reason there's no accurate short interest on AMC when it comes to Bloomberg, Fintel, Ortex. They're all different, right? There's a reason we have no legitimate access to that. But I think it's illogical for us to trade and make decisions on random amounts of manipulation we don't know are true. And the dark pool data isn't any new news. It's been around for a long time. I recommend looking into how dark pools work because in some ways they're healthy for the economy. Now, I get it. When it comes to AMC, there's a lot of short interest coming from this range that we're not really taking into account. I get it. I agree. There's manipulation. I keep saying it. There is manipulation, right? But we can't shout from the rooftops, manipulation, manipulation, manipulation every time the stock goes down. When it goes up, do the manipulators just go crawl under a hole? Do they get under a rock? We can't say that, guys. Long story short, if you're in AMC, you have the stock, you need to forget about it. You need to have it, hold it, forget about it. That's not financial advice, but if you have a stock and you love the stock and you believe in the stock, you don't worry about it. You don't find every reason to say, well, it has to go up now. It has to go up now. Please, God, go up now. You don't find reasons to keep saying that. When you hold a stock long term, you hold it through the ups and through the downs. That's just the way it works. Now, if you have options, I understand. I'd be very stressed out. I'd be looking for reasons to be bullish as well. I recommend getting into the live stream. I'll be live tonight around 9 o'clock. Be there. Be square. I don't know. Something like that. Anyways, boys, I hope you got something out of this. And girls, I love you too. Have a good one. Namaste.